gamers. So I wanted to talk about if I am retiring and my plans for the year, a little retrospect, kind of thoughts and all that. So recently, or yesterday actually, depending on when you're watching this video, I lost a tournament that EGC is hosting. It's still going on. I lost in round of 8. And obviously there's always, people are like, is he going to retire? He's not performing well and all that stuff. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys my opinion, my honest opinion, my honest thoughts about this whole thing. Let me give you a little backstory. It started last year in December. As you know or may not know, last year I wasn't practicing for tournaments at all. I just showed up and did what I could and that's it. I was focused on content, and then in December last year I was like, do I start practicing? Do I go back into it? Do I take time off streaming? Stream less so I can practice off stream and yada yada. And I was like, fuck it. I went to South Africa. I thought about it and I said, you know what? When I come back for the January tournament this year, I'm gonna practice. And I did. I practiced like every single day for like 3 weeks, and I ended up winning the tournament. I think it was 5-2. Against Marino in the finals, and I was super happy because I pretty much beat everyone in that tournament from the pro scene, so I was super happy, super satisfied. And from then on, I was like, I'm gonna try to win every tournament this year, every S-tier tournament this year. So that was the plan, and I was kind of locked in. I was like, you know what? I don't know how much time I got left. Not like I'm dying, but like I'm 34 years old. You guys gotta understand, I'm competing with people that are like 20, 22, 25, right? I'm 34, I'm old. So I was like, I'm gonna just go all out and then basically compete this year, and then probably at the end of the year just, go back to content creation, and that's it. So that was my goal. Kind of wanted to, I guess, prove something, as well, that I can still do it. So when I won the January tournament, I was like, let's go. We're on a good path. So then the DLC arrived, and I was doing a subathon. For those that don't know, subathon is a streaming thing live where every time someone subscribes on Twitch by paying money to subscribe, the timer on the subathon increases. So basically you start with 5 hours, and over time, if people donate or subscribe, the timer increases. Now, I have done one subathon before, and that subathon was, I actually don't remember, 19 days, 16 days, 19 days, something like that. And usually when you do a second subathon, so that one I've done like a year and a half ago, 18 days. Usually when you do a second subathon, it goes way less, or it doesn't go as long because, people have kind of seen what the subathon is about, and just the second one is not as long. So basically, I can't remember the exact timeline, but I'll kind of give you from the memory. So basically, when the DLC was released, a couple of weeks after that, the second S-tier tournament, which is like the big tournament, was supposed to start. So I was like, man, do I do a subathon? Because if the subathon goes into the tournament, that's going to be bad because then I can't practice. So then I was like, well, realistically, if the first one went 18 days, the second one is probably going to go for like 10 or 11, maybe 12, which is going to give me about, a couple of days to relax, to chill, and then start practicing for the tournament, right? So I was like, okay, I'll do a subathon. So that was the plan. And then I commit to hardcore practice, and we go second tournament, and that's it. We just continue. So, the subathon goes for 34 days. So basically the tournament started and I was in the middle of the subathon. Like I was, 2-3 weeks in, and I was playing the game, right? I was streaming about 14-15 hours a day, and I was sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours, or sleeping, waking up in the morning, whatever. So this was every single day with no breaks, right? So if you're wondering, well, didn't you play games and stream? Just a quick explanation. If I queue up a ladder and I play against rank 200 and I beat him, that's not really practice. I just beat up like a guy that's a lot worse than me. So practicing is like when you do a draft, a civilization draft, a map draft, and then you go, okay, I'm going to play this civ on this map, this civ on that map, this civ on that map. I'm going to use this civ to counter this. Whereas on ladder, you're just playing games, right? You're just playing games. You're not really practicing. You're interacting with the chat. So just playing ladder or playing on stream in general is not practice, because For practice, you want to focus, right? You don't want to entertain the audience while you're practicing. You want to just focus on the practice, not have notifications in your head, and that's it. So even though I was online like 14, 15 hours a day, I probably played the game 4 to 6 hours a day, like actually playing, because I had to do other stuff for the subathon, like eating spicy stuff or doing like cutting my hair on stream and all that. So even though I was playing, it wasn't really practice. If you're wondering why didn't you just practice while doing a subathon, like in custom games, mute yourself. I mean, I'm streaming for everybody. So my opponents that I was supposed to play against can literally see what I'm practicing, right? So it just doesn't work. So I was like thinking, do I forfeit a tournament? Do I not? I ended up playing it. I should have forfeited because I was just not prepared, and it just added more stress during the whole thing, during the whole subathon, because I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to do well, yada, yada. Long story short, I got 3rd place in that tournament while I was subathoning for most of it, and there was big drama. If you haven't watched the video about that, I mean, you can watch it, but basically I lost to Marine Lord in the semifinals, and because I left the games too quickly in Gold League players' opinion, I got flamed, I got insulted, I got dragged through the mud by AoE4 community because I was like disrespecting the organizers and this and that, and I generally didn't say anything, I didn't do anything. I just left the game when I thought the game was over, right? So anyway, that whole thing happens, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. So after the subathon was done, there was still like the final week of the tournament that I ended up playing, and I got 3rd place. Actually, no, there was 2 weeks. Sorry. So when the subathon ended, there was still 2 weeks. One weekend was like, I think, quarterfinals or something, and then next weekend was the semifinals and finals, something like that. So basically, in those 2 weeks, I was like not touching AoE4 because I just did a subathon for 34 days and I was fucking, tired of it, right? So I was just like doing IRL stuff. Recently, we moved into the apartment during the subathon. So we were sorting stuff like that. We still need to do some documentation, just real life stuff, catching up with my family and all that. So I ended up getting 3rd place, and I took about 7 to 10 days break from streaming, and then I started streaming again. And for the first, I'm not gonna lie, 2 to 3 weeks of streaming, I felt like I was streaming for hours, and then I look at the thing and I've been live for an hour. And I was just like, oh God. I was so burnt out from the subathon. I could not only play AoE4, I could not stream AoE4. I could not stream anything. I just didn't want to stream. I didn't want to play AoE4. I just wanted to like go play other games. And I can say still to this day is I was super and am super burnt out from the subathon. I did not expect it was gonna go for 34 days, and the motivation that I've had for like I'm gonna win every tournament is extremely hard to maintain and to get there, because even now it's been like 2 months, 3 months in subathon. I'm still like under the effect of it, where I'm just like, that was too much. So next subathon canceled. Well, there was never subathon planned next one, but I'm definitely not doing another subathon anytime soon. And if I do, it's going to be limited. So basically, it's a bit weird because I'm burnt out from streaming that much. And to be fair, it's gotten better over time to where like I'm enjoying streaming again. But now I was supposed to stream and practice for this tournament that I just ended up top 8. And I was giga struggling. Like every time I had to practice, it just felt like a chore. Like I don't have, which doesn't mean I didn't practice, doesn't mean I didn't try to win. I try to win, but it was just so fucking difficult to get into that mindset to practice, because I'm not over it. I'm just burnt out. I don't know how else to put it. I told Mareka, if the Steel Series LAN was not happening, if it wasn't Mareka organizing the tournament and me introducing Steel Series to Mareka and everything, I would have probably just quit, because I need a break. Like I would probably, if I could pick right now, what I would do is I would keep streaming, and I would probably play some other RTS games on stream. I would probably host a lot of FFAs and just do chill content. Like get the fuck away from 1v1s. going to team games, because basically I have not had a break since December. And when I say a break, I don't mean like 10-day break. Like, I mean, I haven't had a 2-day break since December. Obviously, I took 7 days off after subathon, but that wasn't even a break. I was doing shit IRL for the apartment. So I just need to like chill. But the Steel Series LAN is happening in 2 weeks. Like, I'm flying to Denmark in 2 weeks. And I feel like, well, at this point, because I feel like skill-wise I'm still decent, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna force myself to keep playing, to keep practicing, and keep trying. So what is my plan for the rest of the year? So I looked at the calendar. Basically, so there's a second DLC coming this year, as you guys probably know or heard about. The season is ending on 27th of October, which means 99% that the DLC is coming just before that or just after that, right? And I think that the last EGC tournament, does anyone know the dates for the last EGC tournament? So we're about to have like a break after the Steel Series LAN. I think there's a break for like 2 months from the S tier tournaments, and then there's an end of the year EGC tournament where it's like people with most points. It's kind of like the grand finals of the tournaments or something like that, right? So this is the plan. When the Steel Series LAN ends, I am probably just gonna go back to streaming longer hours, right? 6-7 hours a day, mess around on stream. I've recently recorded all the guides, or almost all the guides. What I'm gonna probably do is just chillax, take a little step back, maybe take more days off during the week because I fucking need it, okay? So the next event, there's another, there's another event here? Oh my god. Okay, I was not aware of this. There's a high possibility that I'm gonna skip this one. Okay. I don't know what the tournament is. If it's a team tournament, I wouldn't mind playing it. If it's a 1-on-1 tournament, there's a good chance I'm skipping that, because I need a break. And I don't mean like a break to not stream and not do any work or whatever. I just need a break. Honestly, subathon fucked my brain up. I'm just gonna say it, okay? And then, why am I'm clicking for details, but nothing is happening. How many events are there? Oh yeah, and then there's Outback Octagon at the end of the year, which obviously I'm gonna play. So I thought there's no tournaments between here and here, but basically I'm gonna probably use this as a break, right? And then perhaps we back here. Now, let's go to some IRL stuff. And this is me talking to you as Alexander and not as a beastie, right? So you guys are probably, a lot of you are 25 to 40, maybe some older, some younger. I am at the age where I am noticing that I am that age. Let's just say that. I'm 34 right now. I'm turning 35 at the end of the year. And, you know, I'm at that age where I get up and my fucking back's thrown out. You know, I get up and my fucking arm hurts. Recently, I did a PRP plasma therapy for my knee, which now is great. I don't have pain, but I can run a bit. But if I do any kind of heavy kind of exercising with my right leg, I'm in extreme pain. I'm in a lot of pain. I have tennis elbow here, which I don't know if you guys know what tennis elbow is. I don't know if you've had it. But every time I practice, it flares up and it's very fucking painful. And I have to practice with that. You know, like I have to click buttons while actively my whole fucking elbow is in pain and on fire. So this is not me like making excuses or whatever. I'm just noticing my age. And it's also at that point where I don't know, and I'm not talking about now, I'm saying like end of the year, next year. I don't know if I want to keep competing. In order to win tournaments, you need to have that fire in you. You know what I mean? You need to want to win the tournament. You need to be like, I'm gonna win everything. And I don't have that right now at all. Like, I lost yesterday versus Anatan, and I was like, it is what it is. I hung out with my dogs, and then I played League, and I had fucking, bot lane that was feeding. And that pissed me off more than me losing the tournament. And in a way, that's great that it's not affecting me in any way. But at the same time, I know that if I don't care that I lost the tournament, I just don't care, which is the problem. Because in order to win a tournament, you need to care. You need to want it, right? You need to want to be the best. And I just don't care at this point, right? Again, that might change. We're talking about an event at the end of the year from EGC. Maybe by then it's going to change, and maybe I'll be like, guys, I'm back. I want to fucking win. So who the fuck knows? Our apartment, by the way, just a little update. We're getting all the furniture next week. So whole apartment should be fully equipped next week, which is amazing. We're settled in. We're loving the apartment. We're going to have like a party for family and friends to come over when everything is in. So that's great. I'm traveling to Copenhagen in 2 weeks, which should be a lot of fun. LAN gaming events are always fun, so that should be fun. Even if I lose immediately, it should be a good time. So I'm excited for that. It's going to be like a tournament, but it's going to also be a little vacation break type of thing, right? So that's going to be cool. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts right now. That's kind of what I'm thinking. One thing I realized, I'ma just be brutally honest with you. Last year, I didn't practice, and Marine Lord won all 3 tournaments, I think. And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Beasty can't do it. He's done. He's over," kind of thing. So that kind of got to me, and I was like, I'm gonna prove to everyone that if I do practice, I can win a tournament, right? So I ended up practicing, and I not only won the tournament, but I beat Marine Lord in the finals 5-2. And I was like, there it is, right? And it felt good. But then I came to a realization, and maybe this is because I'm older, maybe it just took a while to kick in, but I realized that these things, in the end, are not going to change anyone's mind. I know what I know, right? And what I know for myself is if I commit to practicing, at the very least, I will win half the tournament in a year. If I fully commit. I know this. How do I know this? I have won 4 or 5, I don't know how many S-tier tournaments so far. And when I did commit and practice, I won them. That doesn't mean I would win all of them, right? Marine Lord is very good. He would probably win the other half. But I know that for myself. Like, I know I'm a good player. I'm good mechanical enough to win these tournaments and all that. But one thing that I realized is it doesn't really matter what you do, because if certain people have perception that they want to have, they're just going to keep having that no matter what, right? In the past, I cared about that, right? I was like, man, I need people to know that I just won and I'm the best. And after the last tournament, it's like having that realization that if I win 5 tournaments this year, people who believe Marine Lord is the best, they're still going to believe that, right? It's not going to change their mind, because these people are either his fans and they're going to believe in him, or they just hate me and they're like, nah, he got lucky, right? People who believe in me will still believe in me, right? They're going to say, well, Beasty lost that tournament, but, he'll bounce back, right? And I've seen that a lot of you guys say today, which I appreciate, right? I lost the tournament, but he'll bounce back, you got it and stuff like that. So I realized, like, who gives a fuck, right? People are going to think what they want to think. At the end of the day, it's like, in a year, no one's going to say, oh yeah, Beasty won a tournament. Like, no one's going to give a fuck, right? Like, in esports, it's like after 3 months, people don't give a fuck anymore, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. I know I'm just like rambling now and yapping, but that's kind of where I'm at. And the thing is, even though, now this is a weird one, even though the realization of that set me free, if you want to use that kind of term, it also makes me not care anymore. Because if I know what I know, and you guys know what you know, then what am I competing for? This is like a form of enlightenment? It is. But that's what I mean. What is my goal? But occasionally you need to remind them who's king. You know, what's funny is Marika said that. She was like, why don't you just take the rest of the year off? And then next year, if you feel like doing that again, you can just practice and do it. And I was like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. What really matters is respect from your peers. But that's the thing. If you want to talk about respect from the peers, I mean, again, I'm honest. I don't give a fuck. Even after I win a tournament, people go for the next one. Or even a week later, people go, yeah, but Marino are still favored to win that one, right? So it's like, what respect? And also, who cares what they think, right? It's like, if there's no goal, there is no motivation. I am a very goal-oriented person. It's like, if I have a goal, I am focused. I wake up every day, that's my goal. What did I do to go towards that goal? If I want to win a tournament, if I had no practice that day, I have to practice drafting. I have to analyze. I have to do something. I cannot just not do anything, right? Because I gotta work towards my goal. But if I don't have motivation or a goal, then to me, playing these tournaments is pointless, right? By the way, I saw some people saying for the money. Guys, me competing in tournaments actively loses me money every month because I am streaming a lot less. My YouTube content is worse quality. And in return, when the dust settles, I make less money by playing tournaments, even if I do top 3. Like, I think if I win the tournament, it pays off, as in, like, it's good. If I get second, third, fourth, I'm losing money. Or maybe, depending on the tournament price pool, but sometimes if you get second, it's still good, right? I saw some people also say, like, compete for your fans. Okay, let me explain this to you. Competing in video games, a lot of people are not aware. It's not about, you don't just go online and play games and you just log off and it's all cool. If you want me to compete in tournaments, I'll give you guys a little taste of what that means. Okay? So what that means is, like, every day for 2 months during and before tournament. So 2 months, this is for one tournament. Every day, you have to play a minimum of 2 to 5 hours. Minimum, I have to practice. Then I have to do a 4 or 5 hours of streaming daily. Okay? So 2 is like 1 best of 5, right? Realistically, it's like 3 to 5. You want to do 2 best of 5s a day, and then you don't want to do the stream. Maybe sometimes you do 1 best of 5, but then you'll analyze games or whatever. So saying that you should play for the people that care for you or your fans, you're not asking me to, like, do a dab that I can do right now in a half a second. You're asking me to commit 8 to 10 hours a day to this for a period of 2 months. While losing money in order to compete in tournaments. It's a lot. And the thing is, you might say, well, just take days off. You can't take days off because that's competing. If you take a day off, the other guy does not. That's the thing. You can take days off, but you might as well just, yeah. It's not fair to ask, but I want it. Yeah, so it's not as simple as like, oh, just do it. Because for me, playing in a tournament is going to cause more hatred towards me if I didn't practice than if I just skipped the tournament completely, right? So yeah, that's, again, nothing is set in stone. Yeah, what Furfurt is saying, I'm just talking about the game, right? Then there's this whole part where I'm like married and, you know, I have a wife and we have dogs and I have family and I have friends and also I want to have hobbies. I want to play other games, right? So locking yourself down for 2 months at a time to where you can't do anything, you can't, like, take a day or 2 off to just do nothing, chill around. It doesn't work, and it's very hard to do long term at the age that I'm at. When I used to play StarCraft when I was 20, bro, I was playing like sometimes 3 tournaments in one day. I would be up for like 14 hours playing the game because the next day I didn't have to do anything. I had no obligations. I was single. I was young. What am I going to do? I was just fucking playing however much I wanted, you know? I just want to share my thoughts with you guys because I think it's important. Obviously, a lot of you, thousands of you support me and watch me, and you want to hear what's happening and what's happening behind the scenes, what's happening in the tournament, what happened in the tournament, and so on and so forth. And just to give you that I'm not like, you know, being a punk, I have some practice scheduled for tonight. So I'm going to practice a little bit tonight, and I'll go to the Steelers land. I'll try my best, and then we'll see what happens, you know. Maybe I go to Steelers event, I get like destroyed, and I'm like, all right, cool, break time. And when I say break time, I don't mean I quit streaming. I mean like I focus on content. I get 1v1s out of my head. That's it. Maybe I win the Steelers land, and then I'm super motivated again to continue. I don't know, right? We're gonna have to see. Obviously, there is the DLC that's coming this year. I am not doing a subathon, I can tell you that. I'm not doing a subathon. I will probably be doing long streams the first few days, but I'm not doing subathon. I'm not doing like 16-hour streams. I'm probably going to stream 8 to 10 hours the first few days of the DLC, you know, play whatever new content there is. So that's kind of it. That's it for this video. I do want to record a couple of more videos which are very interesting, and it got me thinking over the weekend. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for those videos because trust me, they're very interesting and very unique and very good, and they're the best videos. Thank you. Check me out live. And also, did you know, I don't remember the number, but did you know that 63.4% of people that watch on YouTube are not subscribed on YouTube? What the fuck? No, but it's actually something crazy, by the way. It was like over 50% of people that watch the videos are not subscribed. Like, hello? Shame on you. Shame on you. But anyway, thanks for watching. Check me out live on both Twitch and YouTube. Guys watching live, let's keep going.